Now, more than a month after the passage of the Right to Information Bill, Parliament is yet to forward it to the presidency. Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Oseiche Mensah-Bonsu, admits this is slower compared to other bills like the Appropriation Bill, which it says are transmitted to the presidency within 7 days. A member of the RTI coalition, Akoto Ampel, at a forum on implementation of the law, demanded to know whether or not the president had assented to it. Listen.
The first concern for civil society in this discussion is the status of the bill. Has it been cleaned up and presented to the office of the president for the assent of the president? I think that's crucial for us. And it would appear from some of the statements we've heard this morning that that has been done, and yet from our checks it does not appear that the President of the Republic has seen the bill or that the bill has been presented to the President. So I think it's a minor but again very important procedural issue, whether or not the bill has been presented to the President for his assent.
Lawyer Akoto Ampel there. Well, Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Oseiche Mensah-Bonsu, has been explaining why Parliament has yet to forward the bill to the presidency.
Sheshe, you raised an issue relating to the cleaning up of the bill. Indeed, it's being done. And usually when we finish, I engage my table officers because occasionally, you know, a misplacement of even a punctuation mark could alter the character of the whole provision. So we then will have to apply a comb, a very fine comb, to ensure that we clean up before we send it to the president. That is what we've been doing, and we are now in the process of cleaning up the 4 laws that we did. The RTI, Iron and Steel, remember, Institute of Chartered Bankers, and the payment systems. These 4 we are doing concurrently. That displays why it's not been possible to let the president append his signatures to them. But it's important that we hurry our steps. Unfortunately, as you do know, the Constitution in Article 106 provides, and let me just draw attention to that funny way of crafting our Constitution. Article 106(7) provides that where a bill passed by Parliament is presented to the President for his assent, he shall signify within 7 days after the presentation to the Speaker that he assents to the bill or that he refuses to assent to the bill. As to when it should be transmitted after the passage, the Constitution is signing on it. And to me is a tragedy. Perhaps we should have been much more pointed to have said that maybe within 14 days, within 15 days, certainly not after 1 month. Once we pass the law, it's supposed to be transmitted to the President for his signature, because there are some laws that are transmitted to him and he assents. For instance, the appropriation bill, it can't go beyond 7 days usually, because like the previous one, we finished on the 22nd of December, and the President must assent to it before the expiry of the financial year. Those ones we rush to clean up. So we should apply the same diligence in all the bills that you apply. I think it's a self-indictment on the part of Parliament. But as I said, we are in the process of doing that. The unfortunate development was that I had to really leave to attend some statutory engagements of CPA International in Qatar, and then I returned and had to attend, that was IPU, sorry, CPA in Canada to present our cause, and it then splintered the efforts. But we are successful. I'm hoping that by the close of this week, we should be able to finish and transmit all of them to the President.
Majority Leader and Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, there was some explanation, but Mr. Ampao believes it may be time for timelines to be imposed to force Parliament to immediately submit the bill to the presidency.
Hopefully, by the end of the week, they would have finished cleaning up the bill and presented it to the president for his assent. So I think we are on track there.
But he admits that, compared to the appropriation bill, it appears they're able to do a much faster work, and even suggests that whether they should be bound by some timelines as to when they transmit Saturdays.
Oh yeah, I think that would be very, very useful if they could regulate the timelines for transmission of bills to the president for his assent. Because as it is now, a bill can be passed and it can take many, many months, before it is sent to the president.
And you were making a point that you think that they can go ahead and even start implementation even before?
Of course. The point I'm making is that even as we sit here, on a daily basis, public institutions create information because of the work they do. And when they create the information, they do have to store the information and ensure that there is a means of effective retrieval when it is required. So irrespective of even the RTI, that duty exists. And a further point I was making was that the right to information is based on the constitutional provision in Article 21(1)(f). So it is not the right to information bill that creates that right. That right already exists under the Constitution. So public bodies, even without the RTI law, have a constitutional obligation to provide information upon request.
So this conversation was ongoing at a program at which the First Deputy Speaker, Joe Wise, was speaking as well. At the time he was speaking, he had to be rushed to the hospital after he complained of being unwell.
They said over the first 3-year period, we should expect to spend about 700 million Ghana cedis, setting up all the things we need, the officers, the commissions, the information officers, information department, and so on. Now, this was one of the things that informed the decision. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling all right. I'm feeling dizzy. I don't know what's happening, but I'm feeling dizzy.